My name is Ebelin, and I was diagnosed with epilepsy when I was 14 years old. At that time, I really didn't know what epilepsy was, and more than scared, I was confused. I didn't want to be the person in school that had this disease that no one has ever heard of. And I've had over 10 seizures within my life. I was at one time seizure free for 2 years, and when that happens, you are able to wean off of your medication. So when that time came for me, I was slowly weaned off of my medication by my neurologist, Dr. Boo, at that time. And unfortunately, after I was taken off, I relapsed and had to be put back on anti-seizure medication indefinitely. It was very discouraging for me, and it felt like I had taken 20 steps forward and then 100 steps back. It was something that I didn't ever want to feel again. So instead of thinking about the negative, I focused on the positive, which was, why was this happening to me? When you go to the doctor, they tell you that you have such and such disease. So in my case, that I had epilepsy, and that I had to be careful with heights and water, and that I couldn't be alone until I was controlled. But they don't tell you about the everyday life of living with it and how to cope. And that's something that, as an individual with epilepsy, you kind of have to figure out by yourself, and everybody's different. So in my case, I went ahead and joined an organization called the EFEPA, the Epilepsy Foundation for Eastern Pennsylvania, and I became a youth council member, and we have meetings every month to discuss ways to advocate about epilepsy awareness. I've also had the opportunity through the EFEPA and through my neurologist, Dr. Boo, to apply for scholarships with students who have epilepsy, and I've been fortunate enough to be awarded a few of them. I've been awarded the Eric Burton Osberg Scholarship by the EFEPA. I've been awarded the FACES Epilepsy Scholarship Program by NYU, and I've also been awarded the UCB Epilepsy Scholarship by the UCB Pharmaceutical Company. And this one was a very big deal for me because my neurologist, Dr. Boo, was the one who pushed me and drove me to actually apply for this scholarship. And she had so much faith in me and saw me for who I was, not for me and my disease. And she always knew that I can go forward and I can do whatever it is I wanted to do. And so I didn't win it the first time, nor the second time, and finally the third time was the charm, and it just felt like everything that I had worked for, everything that I had learned, the advocacy, all of it came together through that support from the UCB. So I'm very thankful to all of them. Now you might be asking yourself, well, what does this have to do with neuroscience being essential? It has everything to do with neuroscience being essential. Neuroscience is the way the brain works. We are composed of our actions and our mental processes, and that all occurs in the brain. Neuroscience, to me, is essential because it made me who I am today. I would not be the woman that I am today without this big part of my life that neuroscience, particularly epilepsy, has taken from me. It's something that people like me struggle with every day, and that we have millions of questions about. And as much as there is information online, there's still so much more research that needs to get done. And I would be honored to continue to advocate for epilepsy. But in order for that to happen, we all have to come together and realize that neuroscience is essential because we want to continue thinking and being free and living life to the fullest.